Says he's just like the Eagles fans because they're going to get conquered by Brock Purdy.
Yes, of course, a dastardly heel, but they are going to get conquered, by the way.
We'll see.
He's telling no lies there. Brock Purdy.
To the main event of the evening, as far as I'm concerned, we have the trial of Sami Zayn. So the bloodline comes out, and we notice right away that Sami is not dancing at all. He looks pretty somber, actually. They're playing it perfectly. He knows he's fucked, and his chances of being unfucked are pretty remote. He's acting accordingly.
Yeah, he's walking off in the distance, and like he's not with the group, but he's with the group, you know?
Right. It's like he's a lamb with wolves. So they replayed the Kevin Owens taking out the 4 Samoans single-handedly, and Sami coming out, late. And immediately the crowd loves Sami. Sami Uso, they're cheering for him because he's over as fuck, right? The visual,
indeed he is.
The visual of everybody just on one side of the ring while Sami was standing alone was just really nice.
And even the way he was sitting, like when they were doing the court, and he's sitting off by himself. It's the little things.
Yeah, like you could feel the tension, and you could just see how alone Sami looked. It looked like everybody was literally against him. And remember, the last time we saw him, everybody in the bloodline was staring at him while he was holding the contract, and Kevin Owens was blowing him kisses.
Yeah.
So the only thing that breaks up the tension is the crowd immediately starts chanting ECW. And at first I'm like, why the fuck are they chanting ECW? That's so stupid. And then I realized that, Paul Heyman. Like, okay.
Paul Heyman, and they were in Philly.
Oh, yeah, I got that, but it makes sense. Because if it was, I don't know, if it was like Alpha Academy or something and they were chanting ECW, that'd be for other reasons, right?
Right.
To me, I couldn't connect as to why they were chanting ECW immediately. And then, you got five people in the ring and Paul Heyman, who you going to give the microphone to.
Of course.
So then it made sense. Like, oh, okay, yeah. So Paul Heyman, he says ECW is dead. And then he turns and looks at Sami and says he wishes that he was dead too. And he just looks at him. Calls Sami a Judas. He says he's been conspiring with Kevin Owens since day one. He said he's been leading the bloodline on into how much he belongs and how much he loves them and blah, 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 blah. Of course, the fans hate him now. So then Paul Heyman conveniently has a little exhibit of evidence for Sami Zayn's treachery. And of course, it's video clips because it's wrestling. The first video clip, which shows McIntyre jump the Usos while Sami is running away, like the gutless coward that he is, Heyman says. The next clip shows Jay handing Sami a chair. He's wanting Sami to hit a defenseless Kevin Owens, and Sami's hesitating, and I think this was before War Games.
Yeah, both of those clips, the McIntyre thing and the chair thing, was before War Games.
Okay. Sami ultimately doesn't do anything with the chair. Jay gets in the ring and he's stunned by Owens and he loses the match. Heyman turns to Jay and he says, Jay, I'm sorry you had to live through that. The next clip is after War Games. Sami's celebrating alone on top of the cage, and he did the For Life sign. I don't even think he did For Life. I just think he did something. So then Heyman goes, who are we? The NWO? The Four Horsemen? The Dangerous Alliance? Look at him just sitting all alone celebrating while we're all down there. So then he shows another clip of Sami's talking shit to Kevin Owens, and then he steps up to the hard camera, and then he incidentally brushes Roman Reigns.
Yeah.
And Heyman loses his shit. He goes, that's assault. That's assault on the tribal chief. What's next? Do you want to euthanasia his father? Castrate his sons? That's an assassination attempt. And he begs Roman to find the rat bastard Sami Zayn guilty. Then he rests, and I blew a nut all over the place.
That's what got you?
Fuck yeah. That was the best part of the whole thing.
Okay.
Zayn stands up. It's his turn to talk now. He looks at Roman, looks at the rest of the bloodline, and he finally looks at Paul. And he says, you know what? I was trying to predict how I would feel in this moment right now, and I had a whole defense prepared, but after seeing that video clip, and you call me schmooly and pretend to be nice, that really hurt. Basically says that he resents being put on trial, and he says, you know what? My defense is I have no defense. And he throws the mic down, and he just looks, puts his chest out. Sami's defiant.
He says, I'll take whatever you're going to throw at me.
Roman doesn't like this. He's pissed. He's pissed Sami Zayn won't fight for it. This is his blood. This is family. This is what he'd die for. He's pissed that Sami doesn't feel the same way. So he calls for Sokoa Joe, and Joe is about to fuck up Sammy with the Samoan spike. You can see it too. He stalks him like a fucking lion. Sammy's just standing there like a goat, just chained to a fucking tree. Sakoa Joe's Rawr. He stands behind Sammy and he goes, "Die!" And out of nowhere, who fucking stops him? Who's the last person that you would think would stop him? Jay goddamn Uso. The guy not like a couple months ago hated his face. He's stopping Sakoa Joe from fucking Sami Zayn up.
Stopped him from getting kicked out of the whole blood.
He stopped him from getting a jugular wound. He was going to get Samoan spiked by Sakoa Joe. That wouldn't have been good. I don't know. Well, we'll see. Anything to add to that so far?
No,
Perfect.
everything was perfect
Yeah.
up until this point.
Up until this point?
Up to this point.
Oh, okay.
Everything
Okay.
had been done perfect. Paul Heyman putting this clips together.
Mm-hmm.
Sami Zayn's like, "Really, you're doing this to me?"
Right.
Whatever. And then Roman Reigns like, "You're not." Reminded me of like past relationships. What? You're not gonna fight for this?
Right.
Like that made him more pissed off that he wouldn't fight for it.
I've given all my actions so far has indicated that I don't want you here, but the fact that you don't
Yeah.
want to be here.
Yeah. Like, how dare you not fight for this?
Right.
That made him more mad.
So Jay says, "Oh, due respect, OG, I got my own footage." And he sure as shit has his own footage. So he shows Sami Zayn playing Roman's music to help Usos win a tag match. I think it was a championship match. Next clip shows Sami taking a claymore for Roman. Drew McIntyre was about to fuck Roman's day up, but Sami took it for him. The next clip shows Sami Zayn taking a chair shot for Sakoa Joe. The next clip, the Usos were in a tag match. Sheamus tried to break up a pinfall attempt. Sami Zayn grabbed his leg, stopped him from getting in the ring. Usos won. And then it showed the War Games thing where Sami hell of a kicked Kevin Owens and let Jay splash Kevin Owens.
Yeah, as we put it, the heel Sami Zayn went heel. Like he just doubled down on his already being heel.
So Jay says, "This man's taking so many bullets for you and me in the bloodline. My man is basically bulletproof." For some reason that got a pop. I thought it was corny. He said, "He never gave up on me. That's what family does. My tape demonstrates his loyalty to and love to the family." And he says, "Throw your ones in the sky if Sammy should stay in the bloodline. I love you, Sammy." And then Jay throws up his one. And then Jimmy Uso stands up and he throws up a one. And then you hear, "Thank you, Usos. Thank you, Usos."
As the whole crowd is also throwing up the ones.
Yes.
Solo's not.
So Solo's just standing there all pissed like I didn't get to kill something today. Roman's beside himself. He doesn't know what the fuck's going on. Like he's in a precarious situation. He can't just go on his orders now because now part of the bloodline is kind of against that decision. So he's got to play it carefully. And Paul Heyman looks like he just took it up the ass. Roman kind of sits, he deliberates, doesn't say anything for a while. Then he finally speaks and he says, "I find you not guilty for now. You better thank Jay. He bought you more time. Finish tonight and make the bloodline proud. And I don't want to ever see you again until Saturday." And that's where you deliver your final test. See if you're bloodline or not. And that was the end of the segment. It was perfect.
Well,
oh, did I miss
yes.
something?
No, I don't know if it was the end of the segment because the next part of it kind of bled into the tag match.
Well, that was the end of the trial. Excuse me.
Yeah, that was the end of the trial.
Yeah, and that was the trial of Sami Zayn. Cut that last part out.
Cut the whole thing.
Yeah, you're gonna have to dig it up.
I mean, cutting and flopping all over the show.
Yep.